You wake up at 5 a.m., sharp, your wrist buzzing with the cold precision of a sleep tracking algorithm. The day begins not with light, but data. Before your eyes even adjust to the world, you are already checking your statistics. Did you rest enough? Is your heart rate variability optimal for success? You drink exactly 500 milliliters of lemon water. Every milligram of nutrition is calculated to fuel the biological machine you have decided to call yourself. Next comes the 10-minute meditation, not for peace, but for productivity. You are clearing your mental cache to make room for more tasks and higher performance. You listen to a self-improvement podcast at doubled speed. Why experience a conversation when you can simply download the key takeaways into your brains and storage? Breakfast is a formula. Keto, paleo, or high protein, it doesn't matter. What matters is the efficiency of the fuel. Taste is secondary to the metabolic result. Every second is accounted for. You are moving through a production line of your own making, optimizing every movement to avoid the sin of wasted time. But as you stand in your perfectly optimized home, a strange question haunts the silence. Are you living your life? Or are you just managing a project? Welcome to the era of toxic optimization, a world where we treat our souls like software that needs constant patching, and our bodies like hardware to upgrade. We have become experts at building a perfect life, only to find that we are too exhausted and too empty to actually enjoy being alive within it. This is the story of how our obsession with efficiency became the very thing that is killing our capacity for joy, spontaneity, and true human connection. We no longer walk to see the sunset or clear our minds. We walk to close the rings on our watches, chasing a digital pat on the back. We don't read books to be moved by prose or challenged by ideas. We read to extract information, to check off a list and update our status. Even our relationships have become data points. We swipe through faces looking for the highest ROI on our time, filtering out anyone who doesn't fit the profile. Friendship is now networking. Every conversation is a potential collaboration. We have turned our social circle into a curated portfolio of strategic assets for our career. When life becomes an Excel sheet, everything must have a value. If an activity doesn't produce a measurable result, we feel a deep, nagging sense of guilt. Doing something just because it feels like a waste. We have forgotten how to be idle, because idleness has no column in our master productivity spreadsheet. We are obsessed with the surplus value of our experiences. A vacation isn't real unless it's documented, optimized, and turned into social capital for our brand. The Industrial Revolution moved from the factory into our living rooms. We are no longer the workers. We are the products and the managers simultaneously. This is self-exploitation in its most sophisticated form. We don't need a boss to crack the whip when our own ambition does it for us every hour. We have internalized the logic of the market so deeply that we view our own rest as a recharging period for the next cycle of production. When time is money, every moment of genuine living becomes an expense. We are becoming rich in achievements, but bankrupt in actual felt humans experience. Is there anything left in your life that is truly free? Or is every hobby, every rest, and every meal part of a strategic plan for self-improvement? We have optimized the life out of living. We have built a golden cage of efficiency, and now we wonder why we feel so trapped and alone. The ladder of success has no top, but we keep climbing, convinced that the next optimization will finally be the one that makes us feel whole. We are perpetually under construction, waiting for a version of ourselves that is perfect enough to finally deserve a moment of actual happiness and peace. Philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls this the burnout society. We have transitioned from a world of you must to a world of you can. The pressure no longer comes from an external tyrant. It comes from within. The achievement subject is both the master and the slave in one person. When I can't becomes a command, it is more relentless than any law. We push ourselves to the point of collapse because we believe we are free. we are chasing a shadow. The ideal self is a ghost that feeds on our vitality, demanding more sacrifice, more focus, and more optimization every single day. In this society of performance, we are all entrepreneurs of ourselves. We compete even when we are resting, comparing our off time to the highlight reels of others. The fear of falling behind is the fuel of our exhaustion. We think if we stop optimizing, we will become obsolete, forgotten by the fast-moving world. This isn't just stress. It's a structural soul sickness. We are vibrating at a frequency that the human spirit was never meant to sustain for very long. The mantra of positivity has become a weapon. When you believe everything is possible, every failure becomes a personal moral defect rather than just a circumstance. We are tired, not from overwork, but from the constant demand to be more. We are exhausted by the weight of our own unrealized potential. When you are your own jailer, there is no escape. There is no weekend, no vacation, and no end to the sentence of self-improvement. We have traded the mystery of existence for the certainty of a metric. We are winning the race, but we have lost the reason for running. The paradox of choice makes us miserable. When we look for the optimal partner, we stop seeing the human being in front of us entirely. We want a partner with best specs, like we're buying a laptop. But love doesn't live in the specifications. It lives in the unmeasurable gaps. We are so afraid of a suboptimal connection that we never let anyone close enough to see our flaws. We present a curated, optimized version instead. We have lost the ability to be surprised. When we plan everything to perfection, we eliminate the serendipity that makes life feel like an actual adventure. The more options we have to optimize, the more we fear making the wrong choice. We are paralyzed by the ghost of a better version of now. Real life is messy. It's loud, it's inconvenient, and it's often inefficient. But those messy moments are where the actual intimacy and growth really happen. We choose the staged perfection over the raw reality. We shrink our lives to fit into the frame of what looks good to an anonymous audience. In trying to be perfect, we become generic. We polish away the very things that make us unique, interesting, and capable of being truly loved for ourselves. True connection is built on vulnerability. It's the tsuji of the soul finding beauty in the breaks, not in the absence of any damage or flaws. When we treat others as tools for our own optimization, we end up profoundly alone. You cannot be truly connected to someone you are merely evaluating. We are rich in social capital, but poor in deep belonging. We have optimized our network, but we have lost the warmth of a true, messy community. Optimization creates distance. It replaces the warmth of human spontaneity with the cold logic of an algorithm. It protects us, but it also isolates us. Who are you when you aren't trying to be better? That person is usually the one worth knowing, but they are often the one we hide most. The perfect life is a lonely one. It has no room for the unexpected guest, the late-night conversation, or the useless joy of another's company. We are trading our memories for metrics. We are trading the chaos of being alive for the sterile quiet of being perfectly, hopelessly, and correctly optimized. This is the ghost of emptiness. You have finally achieved the minimalist dream, the optimized schedule, and the perfect body. So why do you feel nothing? You have filled your life with useful things, but you have left no room for meaningful ones. Utility is not the same thing as purpose. We are living horizontally, constantly accumulating more experiences, more skills, more data. But we have forgotten how to live vertically, with depth and true presence. You are physically there, but your mind is calculating the next step. You are an observer of your own life, rather than an active participant in it. The metrics are up, but the spirit is down. We have confused the map for the territory, and the dashboard for the actual engine of the soul. The self has disappeared into the project. No one's left to enjoy the results of all this optimization, because the person has become the process. We are protected from the bad and inefficient, but we are also shielded from the transformative. Nothing can touch us, so nothing can change us. The hollowness is a signal. It's your humanity protesting against its own mechanization. It's the part of you that refuses to be just a data point. We miss the versions of ourselves that could just be. The child who didn't care about steps, or calories, or personal brand, or future career ROI. Life is what happens in the cracks of our plans. It's the unoptimized, unplanned, and unrecorded moments that actually make a life feel worth living. You cannot optimize the ocean. You cannot optimize the soul. You can only learn to swim in them, or be drowned by your own rigid expectations. To escape the trap, we must return to our humanness. We must learn to value the things that have no price and serve no objective purpose. Try doing something today that no one will ever know about. Something that won't be posted, recorded, or measured. Something that is just for you. Ask yourself this: if no one was watching, and if it didn't improve your life in any measurable way, would you still want to do this? Are you striving for improvement because you love yourself? Or because your current self is fundamentally not enough for the world? When was the last time you were unproductive? When was the last time you allowed yourself to be slow, to be wrong, or to be beautifully useless? The goal isn't to be a better version of yourself. The goal is to be a person who is actually present for the version of themselves that exists now. Question 1. If your activity could never be measured, shared, or proven to anyone else, would it still have value to your heart and soul? Question 2. Is your drive for self-optimization coming from a place of self-love, or from a deep-seated fear of being inadequate and left behind? Question 3. When was the last time you felt truly alive, and did that moment happen because of a plan, or in spite of one? You are a human being, not a human doing. Your worth is not a sum of your habits, your productivity, or your achievements on a screen. Allow your life to be messy. Allow yourself to be imperfect. Let the world see the cracks, because that is where the light finally gets in. Stop optimizing. Start living. The most productive thing you can do today is to remember that you are already enough, exactly